Just
Chick of
kidding.
the
I have no
month.
such thing.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a really strange monthly package that you receive.
Oh God, no!
They come in like a
yeah.
body-shaped box.
This is my subscription box of a woman. That's awful.
That is awful.
Yeah.
My God.
What do you do when you're done with them? I
Ugh.
send them back to the manufacturer.
Ew.
I get a full refund. Ha 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 ha. Oh, that's awful. Welcome to Chicken and Dove Over the Soul, where two siblings talk about life as if they know what they're doing. My name is Terence.
And I'm Rachel.
Hello, Rachel.
Hello, Don Don.
How was your week?
Good. It's budget season,
Oh, dang.
which I feel like is every season. I feel like I've said that in numerous episodes.
I don't think so, actually. I just think this is the first time I'm hearing it, but also don't trust my memory on that.
I don't.
Oh, yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's in budget season, so we're drafting budgets for each sport. And my eyeballs were very dry at the end of yesterday.
I'm so sorry.
The job's a dream job. It's a great job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't
I'm having a
complain.
wonderful time.
Mhm.
Truly, I'm not being sarcastic.
Yes, because you have to add that in for legal reasons.
Because I just realized how I sounded.
yeah, for legal reasons, that was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate my life.
It's okay. That's your problem, not mine.
And personally, nothing exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing exciting here. I'm just trying to think. Didn't we do something? No, Marcus's birthday's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
He's turning oldie old.
Is it the that number, that decade?
You think he's 40?
I don't know.
You're so funny.
He's a few years older than I am, right?
No, I think he's only a year older than you.
No, he's not. It's like 2 years.
2
or
years,
3 years.
2 years
something.
older.
Something like that. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he's 2 years older.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I was about to say.
So he's
like,
old.
He couldn't be that huge of a gap.
No, it's not.
No, okay.
It's not. And no, living a very exciting life over here. How about you?
I don't have a good answer for this.
I wasn't prepared for this quiz.
Yeah, no, like life is all right. I'm in a very like meh kind of phase right now. If I had to apply like a naval term to it, it would be something like I'm in the doldrums. This band of like latitude where there's not really an awful lot of wind for sailing ships to, really like get some traction or, get some motive force behind their ships to.
You are such a Ross.
Shut up. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, in the doldrums, I'm just kind of getting by. There's some projects at work that are keeping me busy, which is nice. And then, man. Oh, so every Friday, right? I do see Story Fridays with my students.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Which I love, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Last Friday, I talked to them about like how my last ship accidentally flooded a bunch of berthing spaces, like, like living quarters on the ship.
Yeah.
Because when we were in Singapore, the port services didn't replace one of the sewage trucks. Right, because we're supposed to dump all of our sewage into trucks in Singapore for some reason.
Okay.
Actually, I do know the reason, but it's a long story, and we don't need to get into the details. But yeah, they failed to give us a brand new one, and so that truck on the pier filled up and backed up a lot of the showers, backed up a lot of the toilets, and it backs up enough because if the whole crew takes a shower at the same time, for example, right, that's just a lot of water going nowhere except back and into the living spaces and into people's, bunks. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a great time. So that was my story last week. I mean, and usually I put a life story or a lessons learned kind of thing.
Yeah, what is the lesson learned for this?
There really wasn't one. It was just, yeah, this sucks. You can expect this. There's some degree of like, screwiness. I was going to use another word, but yeah, there's some degree of you just can't control a lot of situations, and disasters like this happen. But yeah, it was cool.
That gives a whole new meaning to dump truck.
Yes. Well, yes, I guess so.
Is that because Singapore's so clean?
No, not necessarily.
Or well, the intention's to keep it clean.
So okay. I mean, if I had to get into it, they didn't have the facilities or the connections to, for us to connect our sewage piping to.
Oh.
And so the workaround is we'll just connect a massive hose to our sewage piping, the outlet, and then put it on a truck, and then the truck will take it away for us.
Interesting.
Fun fact, how the what do you call it? The tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they take care of their sewage too.
By a dump truck?
Yeah. Multiple.
Interesting.
Dozens.
It's not
They don't have their own sewage system.
weird.
Proper sewage system connected to the rest of the city.
Because you would think. That's the moment I'm having.
You would think. But alas. Anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah, so this past Friday, actually yesterday, my RC story was, my sea story was my time in Thailand. My very first major port visit with the Navy. It was a good time.
You're smiling so big right now.
I know, because it remains to this day my favorite port visit ever. And so I tell them, I prime the audience by asking them, have you guys seen The Hangover? Not the first one, because that one was in Vegas, right?
That was in Vegas.
That's in Vegas, yeah. The second one is in Thailand, right? And so prime the audience that way, and then go to tell them my story. And it's it starts off very PG, very formal, very official, because I was involved in a lot of official Navy business, right? Like community relations events and whatnot. But then we rapidly descend into the debauchery and the degenerate behavior. And I can't tell them all the particulars, but think of The Hangover and you get a semi-decent, approximation of the stuff we did.
And what was the life lesson at the end of this story?
Yeah, so in the military, when you go out to foreign places, foreign ports and whatever, right, you're supposed to have what's called a Liberty Buddy. And it's basically your friend or someone else from the ship who's going to keep you safe. You keep each other safe. Right? Mm-hmm. You hold each other accountable. Oh, hey, man, yeah, we're getting way too drunk. We should probably go back to the ship now. Said no sailor ever. Sorry.
Funny.
Oh, man, disclaimer, all...
Say it like a...
Oh, the opinions expressed in this podcast reflect entirely my own and do not reflect the views of the United States Navy or the Department of Defense.
I'm gonna make you a script.
I should have one of those.
So you can say it just as fast as, the medicine commercials.
Yeah. Like at the end, right? Where they're just word after word, hundreds of words per minute kind of pace. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll do that.
Yeah. That's I need a sign like that big. Our mission statement on the wall.
And I'll frame it. And I'll put it right here.
No, put it right behind you.
Oh, yeah, in case you ever need to say it.
Yeah, I can just look over your shoulder and then just rattle it all off. Yeah. Anyway, no, so I made some pretty good friends that day, I suppose. Because, a lot of guys, I think, make or build and establish relationships in that sense where we are activity partners. We adventure together, and then, as a result of this shared common experience, we are now friends. Yay.
Well, what was the life lesson?
Oh, the life lesson. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Stay with your Liberty Buddy. Be a good Liberty Buddy.
That's it?
Yeah.
That was the whole lesson?
Yeah. I just wanted a good excuse to tell the Thailand story.
What are you going to do if you run out of sea stories?
Oh, I have plenty.
Okay.
I don't plan on running out of them.
Well, and you could recycle through since you have different kids.
Oh, yeah. Every semester. There is a pool of, it's not even, so there's 16 weeks in the year, but I have a pool much deeper than that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I'll never run out.
Okay.
And, by the time I go back out to the fleet, I'm just going to add even more.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, sorry. To segue into today's topic, it is about making friends as a grown-up. Yay, rainbows. Oh, man. And, yeah, it's, from my perspective at least, or from my own personal experience, it gets harder.
Okay.
After kindergarten.
Okay,
just kidding.
Wow.
No, it's not that soon. After preschool. No. It does get harder over time.
You're more, I guess, just for a little bit of background, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're a little bit more introverted than me.
Oh, yeah, a lot. Yeah. A lot more, yeah.
So I would imagine it's a lot more difficult for you.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm an introvert living in an extrovert's world, right? This entire, the pandemic, as terrible and as awful as it was, but you will see like memes of this everywhere, right? You know, where the caption might be something like the CDC recommends everybody stay indoors, that kind of thing. And then introverts or extroverts are all, you know, crying in a corner and suffering. Meanwhile, all the introverts are celebrating, right? Yeah.
That's you.
That was me. Yeah. It was like, yes, more video games.
Okay.
Meetings remotely. Yes. All about it. You know, classes remotely. Okay. I don't have to like awkwardly be in the same space with strangers. Yes.
You're so funny.
That was great. It was fantastic. But anyway, no, so making friends as an adult, it can be challenging in some places. And today we're going to be exploring that kind of phenomenon, and especially in this modern world, a little bit more.
Yeah, I think like making friends and somebody who's a little bit, I'm going to say a little bit more social than you, not a whole lot
more.
No, not these
You're
days.
paid to be social.
I guess. Yeah. Damn it, the hotel really ruins you. I hate being social. I said that on Friday when I was working on budgets. I was like, God, I hate being a go-getter and ambitious, and it really ruins you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
capitalism.
Yeah, in a way, yes, I was paid to be social. Now that I'm out of that world, though, that's where I say I'm a little bit more social than you, because I don't like the spotlight anymore. So making friends, I don't mind making friends. It's not that I avoid it, but if I don't have to, you know, if I don't have to go to a social gathering, I won't. I think that goes back to maybe that's what, I'm going to connect it back to our episode where we look back on the last 10 years, where you said I wasn't as colorful, I guess was the word you used, and boisterous.
Me or you?
You said that about me.
Oh.
But
see, I don't even remember that. That was literally just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was only a couple weeks ago. You're a terrible person.
You expect me to remember something from last year?
I expect you to remember something. Yeah, but I'm not like, I think if I can avoid it, I will.
Oh, I know the context now. That's right. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
What are you talking about?
All those sex tips from like a decade ago and,
yes.
and stuff. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, yeah.
When I was in the hotel in hospitality, I was paid to be social. I was paid to talk to people and all that. And yeah, okay, I guess it shaped my social skills. But now it's kind of like, if I don't have to, now I'm just being lazy about it.
Yeah, because you don't need to invest in energy anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you've got your circle, as you're wont to say, right? And you're good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't need to add anybody else. I will say though, it is I think it can be really difficult. And I do think it's important to make friends at work, because those are the people you see every day.
Yeah, that's true.
But I still find myself going through that high school stage where it's the first day of school and you're like sweaty because you have to make friends with people in every single period. And yeah, so that's definitely what I run into. And I still try and connect with people at work. Yeah. Which is hard because I work in athletics. And I don't really, can't really connect.
I know, you can be like, oh, how you like them throwing the pigskin the other day?
I would never say that.
I don't know how to talk to football people.
I don't know how to talk sports.
I don't know how to, yeah. When you are surrounded by people that have very vastly different interests to you, you know, and you start to feel that degree of social isolation because of, you know, you just can't connect. Like, you either have to find a way to break into that scene or really dig for something else entirely.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of
I feel like my brain is an overload, just kind of working until it's exhausted so I can try and connect with these people.
Yeah. It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah. And and like I said, I think it's important that you connect with your work, your work family, because you see them every single day. So I do find that that's really important. But yeah, making friends. God, I don't think I've made a friend. I don't think I've made a friend outside of work in a very long time, probably 10 years.
I'm trying to think too, because okay, so this is something I had just, I was reflecting upon the other day because of that journal that I write in, right? That, some reflection every one entry a day. Anyway, it asks a random question like, who are your friends or something to that effect, or there you go. That's the word. Who are you, comfortable spending time with?
Okay.
right? And of course, I put, all, three of you girls, right? Then I list X number of friends. And sure enough, all these friends that follow your names are people from the military.
Okay.
And they're all people I've run into in the Navy, or if not in the Navy, because I was in the Navy, I ran across them. And they also happen to be in the Navy too. But, what I mean, like, by run across them is that, I was at a bar and instantly just connected with these random people who were also in the service, and we're just commiserating together over drinks.
So then begs the question, when was the last time you made a friend outside of the military?
Yes.
Kindergarten?
Well, okay, so let's see. This is hard.
It's been a long time, right?
It has been, and a lot of them have been, it's actually kind of crappy to admit it, but I'm friends with them now because I was initially, like, the only reason I reached out in the first place was I was very attracted to them. Like, hey, you know what? Maybe I could ask him out on a date, kind of thing, right? And so under that context, there was this girl from grad school, right? And we hang out a lot now. We're good friends now, even though I've established that, we're not going to date. We're still, getting together, like meeting up for drinks, get coffee, or just, shoot the shit in general. And she's actually really cool. Like, I'm glad we're still friends.
Is she in the military world?
Her dad was in the Navy. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I say that doesn't count.
No, I don't think so either. Like, I didn't know. Even before we started. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know at all that her parents or her dad was in the Navy. And that was already after I've made the judgment that, she's really cool.
Okay.
So knowing that is a bonus. Not a primary pull effect.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the second one was in like San Diego, and she was introduced to me by a friend who's in the military. Right. So this wasn't something I naturally stumbled upon or naturally found.
I still don't think that counts. So you're good.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Yeah. And so, that's the last two I could organically think of, and I still are in contact with today. Like, I wrote the one in San Diego a letter, right, recently. So, hey, there's that.
So we've established that you're the introvert, I'm the extrovert. And all that aside, when you have initially started that conversation of getting to know each other, do you still think it's hard to make friends, or like, how's your struggle? And I don't mean to say struggle, but how is your struggle with finding that connection with whoever you're talking to?
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
How do you find it still a difficult, do you still find it to be a challenge to find any connection? Like, do you feel like your brain is overworking to try and find something to connect with this person, like me?
I guess. I don't know how to properly phrase it. Like, I went on a date the other week with this lady I met, and she for all intents and purposes, like, it seemed like we would get along, we'd be a good match, and I think we're fine. Like, we can be cordial and we can be very social, right? Like, we have very similar life experiences and whatnot, but in my mind, just the entire time, I have a sequence of criteria that I'm looking to check off, I guess.
Okay.
Do we have, like, shared interests? Maybe, maybe not. Do we find the same things exciting? Maybe, maybe not. Right? Do you have the same outlook towards adventure, I guess? Or, where do you fall on that spectrum of going out / staying in? How closely aligned can that be?
Yeah.
And so I guess in that sense, that's what I'm always actively thinking about when I'm meeting new people.
Okay.
And, on top of, okay, what do I say next? How do I continue to carry this conversation?
I'm still sweating as I'm trying to figure out what to say next.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad I have this beer in my hand or this glass of wine in my hand, so I don't have to worry too much about that. But no, it's yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm not super good at that, I guess.
Yeah, I think over the years since I left hospitality, I think it's gotten it's really difficult. And I was talking to one of our sisters, and she was explaining about how, and she's kind of one who inspired this topic, but she was explaining how she watches her son, interact with kids, and nice. I just think, man, that's That's so nice for kids these days. Like they don't have to worry about they just if it clicks, it clicks, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, can so come out to play? And, you know, if it works, it works. You guys are into tag and you're into shooting each other with Nerf guns and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to roll up to a bar with a Nerf gun because that's also dangerous. And
I mean, you can't possibly mistake a Nerf gun for a firearm.
it'd be a bright firearm.
That would be cool, though. I mean, I think I've seen a few of those, like on social media where, you know, adults, grown-ass people just walk up to each other, hand the other person a Nerf gun, and then just start shooting. Or
Okay.
I think the precise example, no, this is someone dressed up like a Jedi, you know, super long robes with
goodness.
a cloak on, you know, throws somebody a lightsaber, a toy lightsaber,
Yeah.
and then they this Jedi turns theirs on and then challenges this complete stranger to a duel.
What?
Yeah, and then you know, the guy, well, in this video, you know, the person who got thrown the lightsaber actively participates, plays around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's cool. Exactly. He passed the vibe check, as the kids might say these days.
Oh, those kids.
Yeah. You got to stay in touch, Rachel.
I know.
Stay up to date, man.
What's like the most up to date thing you've heard?
There's so many. There's so many.
I ask you like you have like you keep a mental file to stay up to
No,
date.
it's just you just gotta know. You gotta absorb. That's how you stay relevant, and how you can connect with your, you know. Well, I was gonna say your sailors, but you don't have sailors. You know, especially your younger, your students.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man. Sorry.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be some big old boomer and who doesn't pass the vibe check.
No, yeah, you are. Yeah.
I will never pass the vibe check. Maybe that's why it's so hard to make friends.
Some might say you are not pushing P.
I literally don't know what that
That's
means.
good. I mean, no, that's not good. That's bad. Urban Dictionary, man. Look it
Fine,
up.
I'll look it up
just-
afterwards.
Or get an Instagram. That helps.
Okay.
So dismissive.
So here's a question,
Sorry.
another question for you. And I mean, I can't really answer this because I'm already married.
No, okay.
But you said that you have sort of a mental criteria. I think of like you have this mental note card with bullet points and all that. Do you have the same card for when you are looking for a significant other versus to when you have a friend?
Yeah, I
or
mean,
when
so
you're just looking
for
a friend?
I think they all share a common foundation. At least the initial quote unquote checklist, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all common if it's for a friendship or for a relationship, things of that nature. Because, you know, like the relationship will grow out of something, out of a proper connection or a more, you know, something more meaningful, right? But, you know, that all starts with being friends in the first place. And so why not have a common basis there,
Yeah.
right? What I'm actually fascinated about is there kind of a difference in, like, the gender experience? Like, do women have an easier time making and, you know, keeping or maintaining friendships versus men? Because, like, I've read a lot of articles about this, and, you know, and something to the effect of that, you know, it's a lot more difficult for men, especially like married men, to maintain friendships over time.
Interesting.
And,
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I mean, and no,
I'm like, you're the one that read the article.
Okay, it was the BBC, all right. And so, in many relationships, the man often offloads the responsibility of maintaining social relations to the woman. So, you know, while the man may have his own, you know, internal circle of friends, like building new connections, right, will be the wife's job. Right?
Okay.
And, you know, for me at my age, you know, I don't have that. And so I suppose it's a lot of the onus is on me to, you know, to keep building and maintaining my own new relations. But nonetheless, like, is that something that you see in your own marriage?
Yeah. So I'll answer. So you asked a couple things that I want to touch on.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you're good. And I think what I want to touch on first is the marriage part of it and the responsibility. And I won't even say marriage, just a relationship, because I do agree with that. Unless you do come across a guy who is very social and, you know, wants to be a good host, things like that. Yeah. For my own relationship, yes, I think that I have taken on the responsibility to be social. And one thing that jumps to mind is our bridal party. I mean, come on, I had 6 bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And so aside from you, our mutual friend, and then his brother, like, holy hell, we had to find, 2 other people or somebody trying to figure it out. I guess we had our nephew technically be a groomsman.
Right,
but,
to fill out the groomsman side, yeah.
Yeah, and at one point I joked with Marcus, I was like, you need more friends.
Oh my God, rude.
But in my own relationship, I think I do take on the social part of it. And I, of course I do the, hey, are you okay if we have friends over, or can we throw a party and things like that.
Because does he do anything of that nature? Like, does he invite friends over?
No.
There you go.
Because what friends?
Oh.
I don't mean to say it like that.
Sorry,
no,
Marcus.
I don't mean to say it like that. But yeah, and I mean, again, back to the wedding. Like when we were putting together the guest list, it was probably like 90%.
Oh my
my
God.
side,
That's
10%
a hell of a
him.
split.
Yeah, with friends. So obviously he
That's
dominated.
Still a crazy split.
I know. So obviously with family, he dominated that because his family's so large. But like we had a list of friends, and I mean it was like 90% mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking too. Like, actually, it's not even thinking right now. But I have a file for this. My own personal wedding planner. If that ever comes around someday in the future. But if/when it happens, who's my best man going to be? Who are the other groomsmen going to be? And I can't think past even 3.
And that's okay. I mean, I know
that sucks. No, I mean, like,
well, I think nowadays, you get married. Some people don't even have a bridal party.
Really?
And that's just because, one of my friends got married without a bridal party. And that's, I think the main reason.
Just the bridegroom and that's it? No best man, no maid of honor? Wow.
Yeah. And I think the reason, I don't know, but I think the reason is because in her case, the groom is very social and would have had the 6 bridesmaids on his side, and she, I think, would have had 2, and it would have just been strange in her eyes, but so I think that's okay.
That's fair. Yeah, it helps keep costs down.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but the other part that you brought up is I think you had said, correct me if I'm wrong, is you said, is it easier or difficult for females to maintain and make friends versus males? Again, I think it comes down to the gender, but I do want to point out that, of course, girls are girls. Women are women, ladies are ladies. I think that a female has a longer note card filled with bullet points. And I think, depending on the person, of course, if you don't meet all those bullet points, or if you meet one bullet point, then you're like not enough, or we're good.
Yeah.
I think women are a little bit more vicious about it. I think I am because, and the reason why I say that is because I'm very good at cutting people out. Not in a vicious way, but if it just
I don't know, that's exactly what it sounds like. Rough, man.
Yeah, it's just if it doesn't, if they don't pass the vibe check, then that's kind of it. Or if they've done me wrong, then that's it. We're done.
Good use. That is correctly applied.
Thank you.
Well
I'm learning.
done.
Can you teach me the other one later?
No. Actually, no. I will let you Google it or, whatever. So you only have Facebook. Sure, it's probably on there somewhere.
You're funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, and men, I don't know from witnessing it. I mean, obviously you see in a social setting, you see typically the females are very vocal and they're chit-chattery. Yeah. And then you have the guys that are like, hey man, did you watch them throw the pigskin around?
No, actually it's kicking this time.
Or whatever.
Kicking. No, I'm just kidding. No, so like for guys, I think, speaking from my personal experience also, right? Like when it comes to meeting new guys to hang out with or to make friends with, one of the more common initial questions is, hey, do you do this activity that I also do? Right? Oh, like after you've asked what's your name? Where do you work? What do you do? That kind of thing. right? The next follow-up might be, how's your golf game? Or, do you play Call of Duty? Or do you...
You have these layers to break through.
They're not even layers. These are one of the easiest on-ramps for men to connect, right? Because again, activity partners. Let's do this together. Let's share this experience together. And then through that, we will bond, right? I don't know. And I don't want to like hypothesize too much here, but maybe it's something tied to that very instinctual, like, caveman age, caveman era. Like, let's go hunting together, bro. Yeah.
Bro, you gotta add the bro at the end.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, caveman name, insert caveman name here. Let's get that mastodon and feed the village. Yes.
Okay.
Or feed the tribe. I don't know. Right. Whereas, meanwhile, the women generally did the gatherer thing, in hunter-gatherer societies. Anyway, I don't know. But guys definitely lean a lot heavily into the let's do activity together. Or, if we can't do that together, then there's no room for us to connect.
I also don't think that there's a lot of care on the guy's side. Like,
there isn't.
Yeah.
There really isn't. There's that kind of major social stigma of men being emotional beings in the first place.
Sure. Like, okay, you meet this bullet point, and you also have a heartbeat. Let's go do this.
Yeah.
Let's go hunt that vulture.
Yeah.
Or whatever, I don't know. But
like, I don't know, a saber-toothed tiger. No, those are awful. Let's go hunt gazelle. Anyway, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But as soon as men start talking about feelings and emotions, that's an instant conversation, turn off, or like...
But unless you've already established a long friendship...
Yes, that's the catch, though.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, you're right.
Long friendship. For I think... The on-ramp for women in that case, it comes a lot earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just open up and that's natural, or I suppose it's more accepted. I don't know how to phrase it, but it's something that's done more frequently with women than it is among men.
Yeah.
And yeah, like between me and Marcus, like I think the last time he and I had a good,
a heart-to-heart, as
not even a heart-to-heart conversation, but something beyond the pigskin conversation is when we drove down to Fredericksburg for the escape room, I think.
Oh, that's right. And I was in another car.
Yeah, it was me and him in the car, and we actually started talking about just, things about life beyond video games, like, how's your relationship with Rachel? And of course, I didn't want to make it sound like I'm the nosy brother, right? But, then he asked me, how are you doing with, chick of the month, whatever.
Okay, Anyway,
no, yeah, so that was the last time we had a real proper, like, meaningful, I guess, conversation beyond just, or maybe there was that one night later in the evening, down in the kitchen area thing, whatever. It was you, me, and him talking about, I don't know, family and life in general. And that was something more than just, the events of the day. Right. But then again, that's rare. So rare.
Yeah. I think it's like, it's very rare these days that adults just make new friends, not like kids. And that's what I keep thinking about is like we as adults just don't make friends like kids do. And we also kind of to what you were, I don't know if you were really alluding to it, but actually you did mention it, but you said, we're making human connections probably with the intention of, marrying them or finding your significant other. Whereas these kids are like, they're so sweet and innocent and they're just friends,
Friends, yeah.
And it's nice. It's not, we don't do that these days
There's no
anymore.
ulterior motive, I suppose, right?
Yeah. Like I'm making friends at work because one, I don't want to say that I have to, but because like I said, I do believe in being friends with the people that you see, but they say like your coworkers know your deepest, darkest secrets, but you guys never go out and you never hang out outside of work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, right?
And again, I'll say the last time I did that, because I have made a friend from work who I do hang out with outside of work. The last time I did that was back when I was in the hotel.
Yeah. It's funny because like, okay, so kids don't necessarily have. Okay, so I'm sorry. What I'm getting at here is I think that one of the major differences that when kids are making friends versus when adults are making friends is that adults are making a very complex time to benefit calculation. I think, right? Like when it comes to, between work, home life, a social life, self-care, whatever that is, right? You have to start prioritizing, because you only have so many hours in the day, whereas kids don't have an awful lot to juggle.
They have all the time in the world.
Yeah, they have all the time in the world, so they can, spend, / waste their time. However,
the disclaimer is both of us have no kids, just so.
But we were kids at some
I know.
point. We were kids, and we can speak of that.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, like if I, as a grown up, am juggling a job, I'm juggling making podcasts, or all sorts of other things.
Yeah.
I have to start thinking to myself, like, should I even bother like reaching out to X, Y, and Z person, or should I even bother, going out to the bar when I know, or bars or club or whatever, when I know it's probably I'm just gonna strike out because I am the way that I am.
No, I get that. I mean, sometimes I don't like to be social. Like, there have been times where somebody asks me to hang out. And I'm like, I'm on my side. I'm like, I really don't want to because I have other things I got to do. I have other things I need to juggle.
Yeah, yeah. But then, like, despite all that, like when adults do make the decision, like, you know what, I need to do something about this. There are kind of ways to go about it. There's some pretty nice ways to go about it. Like there's the app called Meetup.
Okay.
Right. And I think that's kind of neat. I've tried it once. I've tried it once for like a what do you call it? Board game kind of group.
Okay.
Right. And showed up and, well, not just board games, but like Magic the Gathering also. Like,
yeah.
Like nerdy games kind of stuff. Like physical nerdy games. And so, yeah. And showed up and I hate to like really hammer home the stereotype of, basement dwelling nerds with neck beards and, poor hygiene, but that's the kind of people that I ran into there. I'm like, okay, this is not what I was hoping for.
Sure.
I was hoping for like, like regular.
Not basement dwelling nerds with neck beards.
Yeah. Because like, okay, so I when I grew up, like a lot of the guys I was hanging out with, yeah, we were all definitely self-proclaimed and very proud nerds, but we also had decent hygiene, right? We knew how to shave and shower, right? We had, halfway decent social skills, and we know how to not make things weird. And, the entire vibe I got that night was just that. And before, people or listeners start thinking I'm being super judgmental, I mean, actually, I don't even know how to defend myself in this case, but
no, I don't think you're being. I probably, and I say this probably because the stereotypes, like it's hard to not focus on that because you hear stereotype and then you automatically judgment follows it anyways,
right.
No matter what. So don't think of it that way. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
like you just run into somebody and they just don't.
Yeah,
they just don't connect.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm not feeling this. I mean, it's not like we had to, force conversation each time. It's just we sit down and play the game. Like,
yeah.
And depending on the people that you run into, maybe they're there to win. They're there to compete and actually like triumph and dominate, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But for the most part, everybody was there for a good time, which is nice. So that helped counterbalance a lot of the initial apprehension.
Yeah.
This was all the way back in Berkeley, by the way. Like when I first got there, and I was really like looking to establish some connections.
Okay.
Early on when we first finished moving in and I hadn't started school yet, and I was like, oh yeah, let's see what's on Meetup. And then after that,
that's cool.
Yeah, and then I guess after that I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? No, screw this. But then I found out I met all the other ROTC kids.
Okay.
And that was awesome. But, the friendships that were established there, they weren't like organic friendships, right? We all had ROTC in common. And so that was kind of a common exercise, a common activity, a forced amount of interaction. And, add a little alcohol to the mix and everything was great.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. And definitely at least a few of them, 2 or 3 of them, still definitely in touch with today.
I thought of a good question, just kind of staying on the friend topic, but how do you define a friend and then a close friend and a best friend and all the other adjectives added one person can add to a friend? What do you, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's a little bit I just feel like people who add like, this is my close friend, and then this is my oldest friend from high school, and this is my oldest friend from college. I'm like, dude, how many friends you got? Like, like, I just feel like you're being superficial about it. Like people who say I love you and just throw the words out.
Because, I mean, you have to make a distinction between like chronological, like how long you've been a friend with somebody versus how good and how, let me back that up too, actually. So there's different scales. There's like how long you've been friends.
Sure.
How demonstrably good, like how willing they are to go out of their way to support you / back you up / give the last shirt on their back kind of thing.
Okay.
Right, as a friend. And then how close, I guess, how intimately you know one another.
Okay.
Kind of a friend they are, right? And you know, you can definitely, some of these can overlap for sure, right? And you know, one person who's super intimate with you and familiar with who you are might not be the person who you will call first if you're, you know, stuck on the side of the road.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, they might also just be someone you've just known, you know, a year, I guess.
Yeah.
Versus someone you've known since kindergarten. Like the twins, right? And so on. You know, just apply this to the twins, for example, in your case, right?
They are
the longest, one of your longest lasting.
It's over.
Yeah. Sorry. The friends you've had for a very stupidly long time.
Yeah.
Right. But then, you know, those other two metrics, I don't know where you are on that. I don't know where they are on that.
And it's interesting.
Think of it in that sense.
It's interesting, and I appreciate you explaining the categories, if you will, because now I feel like you've organized and put those overlapping like a huge complex Venn diagram over my circle, which is great. And I'm not one of those people that are like, this is my oldest friend from college from community college. those people, I think it like drives me crazy. Yeah. You know, stop adding adjectives to your friend.
Right. Stop like really trying to make him extra special, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you ever feel like you could only have one best friend and one best friend only, and if you said best friend to somebody else and then your actual best friend heard it,
I think so, yeah.
It was like dropping a nuke on your surrounding.
Yep, yeah.
Like, get me out of there.
Yeah. For the longest time in like high school and through my early years of college and like the first few years in the Navy, I definitely had one best friend.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, but alas, then after that, it was like a dark period of not having one, I guess, and just like not having friends really in general. Yeah, just sad. Maybe not. Maybe that's too extreme, but just not having something in that one prime top spot, right?
Sure.
And then going to Japan and meeting all the other new officers, and then like going through that really shitty phase of life together. I met Jeremy there. I think Jeremy's an awesome guy. Definitely he's got the best friend spot right now.
I think a friend is, there's obviously a million definitions and everybody's going to have a million of their own definitions. But I think one thing I've always thought about my circle is if we can spend, I don't need you there all the time. And I don't mean it in that negative way, but we don't have to be together all the time to be friends. And I feel like if we can go on living our lives and then the moment we come back together, we pick up where we left off, that's a true friend.
Yeah.
I think that is a definite true friend. So, I don't know, but I appreciate you organizing my circle.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, apply it however you see fit. Yes.
I know. Now I'm thinking about that, like those huge Venn diagrams.
Who goes where? I can draw this out for you on a chart too, if you like.
But who can stay in this one and who overlaps here?
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh man. Ooh, this is fun. When this episode is done, let's draw this out.
Let's map it out.
Let's map this out. You get a piece of paper. I'll get a piece of paper. Yeah. And we have to ascribe names to each of these circles now too.
I know.
You know, like, okay, so one is chronological. One is reliability, I guess, maybe.
Ooh,
that's a good one. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. And then the other one, I don't know, what's the last one? Like how intimate you are, right? Oh, intimacy, I guess. Yeah,
intimacy.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah.
Or we could be really big about it and apply it. Like, let's do like 7 Venn diagrams that overlap.
That's a lot.
Yeah, let's just be obnoxious with it.
Okay, I'm going to start at 3 and then I'll go from there. Yeah, I mean, I don't have an awful lot of dots to put on there anyway. I don't have too many.
But I think it'd be interesting to map out how many categories of friends that we could come up with.
Yeah.
That we could. So I think that's
Wait,
interesting.
do you have one of those compass things, the thing that draws circles?
No.
Okay, that sucks. Well, you have like cups.
I'm not that big of a boomer.
I'm just saying it's it's cool. Okay, well, all that said, I'm actually like super excited to go make these circles now. So I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short, and you can laugh. It's fine. You can laugh into the mic. I appreciate it. But no, like it's being an adult, and especially in our phase of life, in our 30s, right, where we're really grinding, being what do you call it, consummate professionals, right? Where
wow, that made me feel a whole lot bigger. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
I feel higher up.
I get paid to build people up.
I hate you.
But I also get paid to tear them absolutely into pieces, and that's one of the more satisfying
and there
parts
it
of the job. Yeah. Just kidding. It's not satisfying. It has to be done. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, as we get older, and as we become these consummate professionals, and all these demands on time drag us in a billion different directions. Yeah, making friends is not the easiest thing to do, but I hope you guys take a little something out of this and start reflecting upon those kinds of priorities that we all have. Whether this conversation stimulates you into thinking about, oh, maybe I should reach out to this friend of chronological quality that needs a little more attention, or maybe this friend of questionable intimacy needs to be cut off. I don't know. I mean, that's for you to decide.
Or if you just want to give some random stranger a Nerf gun and see what happens.
Yes. And send us a video. That'd be great. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us today, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys. Is it erect enough to your mouth?
It is erect enough. It's like, it's just my mouth is too small.
Everyone has their limits.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not the only thing that's small. Ah!